Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to TechGeek webinar series, our endeavor to empower techies. We believe that sharing of knowledge is the key to enhance our skills and grow us as professionals. With this principle in mind, we have initiated a series of webinars conducted by industry experts to give you all a crisp insight of various domains. The topic of today's session is leveraging Facebook for customer acquisition. Our guest speaker today is Mr. Pradeep Chopra, CEO at Digital Vidya. Among the pioneers of digital marketing in India, Pradeep has been part of the internet industry since 1999. He is a co-founder and CEO of Digital Vidya, India's premier digital marketing training company. Pradeep has personally trained and advised over 2,000 professionals, including CEOs across Asia, in helping them meet their business objectives through Digital Vidya's hands-on social media workshops. Pradeep is an international speaker and an author on digital market and entrepreneurship. He is one of the most sought-after speakers in digital marketing, and his speaking assignments include Search Engine Strategies, World Social Media Summit at Kuala Lumpur, Social Media Workshops in Singapore, Malaysia and Oman, Click Asia Summit, Global Youth Marketing Forum, TiECon, and NASSCOM India Leadership Forum in India. He writes on entrepreneurship and digital marketing for Wall Street Journal, INC, and Entrepreneur magazines. A graduate from IIT Delhi, Pradeep is a core member of the Global Committee at Search Engine Marketing Professional Organization, a non-profit that nurtures the growth of digital marketing globally. His obsession for the digital medium has led him to believe that the internet connectivity is more important than the water supply. So without further delay, I introduce you all to our guest speaker. Over to you, Mr. Pradeep.
Hi. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I believe you can see my screen as well as you can listen to me. I hope I am audible as my screen is visible to you. Right? Okay. So, thanks for inviting me to share my experience about leveraging Facebook for the topic, which is one of the hottest topics in terms of leveraging Facebook for customer acquisition. It's been, I think, last 12 years, and I have been exploring, leveraging, sharing experience about digital marketing, and particularly for the last couple of years in social media. And that's what we do. So the only thing we do is we organize various social media and digital marketing trainings in various formats for people across Asia, right? So today I will be sharing about how Facebook can be so powerful when it comes to leveraging it for growing revenues and generating leads. So if you are on Twitter, you're used to tweeting, you can use this hashtag to share your experience, to share your insights about this session today. And you can use hashtag. For those of you who don't understand what a hashtag is, just feel okay to not do anything about it. Let me create the agenda for today's session. I'll be starting with creating with you the opportunity of Facebook, especially about leveraging pages, Facebook applications, and Facebook advertising. We'll be sharing with you also, the algorithm which Facebook uses to determine how to distribute content across various Facebook pages. Then I will be sharing with you the secret of leveraging Facebook advertising. Though I wouldn't say it's a secret, but since people don't know how to optimize Facebook advertising for success, I will be sharing with you the key aspects of that so that you can leverage that to significantly multiply the ROI you can expect from Facebook advertising. Finally, I will be sharing with you, brief about our upcoming social media marketing trainings and workshops, which we have been conducting across Asia. You don't need to worry about the content of this presentation. Today itself, at the end of this session, I will be sharing with you the link for this presentation also. And I believe we will also have the recording of this webinar also available, right? So don't worry about the exact content. Otherwise, feel free to take down any takeaways you want to note down from this presentation, right? So why Facebook marketing? Why is so much buzz about Facebook for business while it started as a social network? This is one quote which really talks about the opportunity of social media and Facebook as well. Says only 20% of marketing budgets are typically spent on retention. Yet, in many cases, over 75% of revenues come from existing customers. So what it basically says is the opportunity of leveraging your existing customer relationships is much bigger than acquiring new customers. However, most of us spend most of our energy in getting to new customers. And given social media is all about building relationships, whether you do that through an application or through a page on Facebook, that's a real opportunity of leveraging Facebook, is to be able to harness the real potential of existing customers. Now, entire social media and Facebook as well can help you grow your business or help you grow your organization in terms of getting new customers. And depending upon the kind of business you are in, it can happen in multiple ways. For some of the businesses which are purely offline and they are B2C, consumer driven, a lot of Facebook can help is create influence towards the product and service you have to offer. In many cases, including B2B businesses as well as other businesses, and I'll be sharing a lot of interesting case studies, including Indian brands, Facebook can help generate enormous amount of leads. And if you are a business which is like an e-commerce business or where the transaction happens online, Facebook can help you generate till the final conversion or transaction in terms of acquiring new customers. So I'll be sharing how all of this can happen in an interesting case study or examples-driven scenario. While Facebook makes a lot of sense, through almost 100 workshops for over 2,500 people across Asia, we have seen that most of the people, including brand managers, head of marketing, and people who are looking at Facebook, including from application perspective, are not even aware about how content gets distributed on Facebook. And sadly or badly, a lot of Facebook promotion is happening by force. Or to give you an analogy, I have been part of internet industry since '99, and that was the time when .com burst happened. And since then, I would say while there is a lot of change, at the same time there are a few things which are quite similar. At that point of time, hits was a term which was being more misused than used, and today an equivalent of that is likes on Facebook, right? So to share how it has been same is in the sense that earlier, once you are a professional, you were expected to have an email. Like people would ask, you don't have an email? Then you are a company, people ask you don't have a blog? And today, if you are a brand, people ask you don't have a Facebook page? And truly speaking, a number of Facebook pages or brands have gone on to Facebook because they are expected to be there, because the competition is there, because the boss has said to be. While creating a presence is easy, it's free, it can happen in a few minutes, the real value of Facebook is when you use it appropriately. And that's what I will be sharing with you. There are a number of brands who have millions of fans on Facebook from India. Tata Docomo probably is leading in terms of their over 9 million fans. Then MTV has MTV Hoodies page has 4.6 million fans. Fast Track has over 4 million. Zuzu's has over 4 million as well, and there are many more who have at least 1 million fans. And there are at least few hundred which have over 100,000 fans. While when you are considering using a Facebook page, number of fans are necessary. But if number of fans is your only measure of success, then there's something wrong. And as I shared, while in 99, 2000, likes was a term which was being more misused, today hits was the term when it was being more misused. Today it's like which is being more misused. And the reason is, I'll ask you a question. Say if you see how content on Facebook is consumed, if you join a page on Facebook, for example, you join say a brand's page, like you join say Nestle. Typically, you don't go to the Nestle page to find out what's the new content. Or if you even join your friends, you connect with your friend. You don't go to your friend's profile to see what are the new updates. When you go to Facebook, which is essentially facebook.com, and you are logged in, you would see the content which is coming from your friends or your brand pages which you liked. So that's how the content comes onto your newsfeed. Now, assuming you are an administrator of a Facebook page, a page which has 100,000 fans, and you control that page, and you do a wall post on that page which has 100,000 fans, and assuming, for the sake of this exercise, assuming all of them are online when you do a post, right? You do a post and all of your 100,000 fans are on Facebook. What percentage do you think would get that post if you do a post when all of them are online? If none of them is offline or all of them are just waiting for that post, ideally all of those fans should get your post, right? So, but that's not true, because Facebook has something called EdgeRank algorithm, which is their newsfeed optimization algorithm, which decides who and what percentage of your fans, even when they are online, gets the chance to see your content on their newsfeed. Say in realistic scenario, a good percentage of your fans would not be online. But even among those who are online, when you do a post, only a percentage of them will get a chance to have your post become part of their newsfeed. And this is an algorithm which Facebook uses called EdgeRank. It's a newsfeed optimization algorithm which Facebook uses to decide how to spread your content. The idea is Facebook wants to find out, which of your fans could still be interested in your content. If you have joined a page and you have not engaged with that page, then Facebook considers that you are no more interested. So engagement is the key parameter of this algorithm. While there are many more parameters, and you don't need to worry about the mathematical part of that, but what you need to understand is, if you have a page on Facebook and if you are not engaging your fans on your page, a large percentage of them will not even see your post, even if they are online. So if you are not creating engagement on your Facebook page, whether you have your fans or not, there is not much difference. That's why everyone says that engagement is the key. So your job is
Pradeep, your voice is not coming.
I
Your
think
voice
for a
went
few
off.
seconds I think for a few seconds my voice went off. Sorry for that. I'll just repeat the last sentence. As I shared, this EdgeRank algorithm is also applicable for your friends' connections. So your friends, when they are doing posts, if you are not engaging with them, you would not even get their post. So this is very, very important. Can I just try it? Because I will need to call, then I will have to manage both the things. Now it should be fine otherwise. Yeah. Hello? Guys, sorry, I think it was again an issue. If it happens again, I will just change my network. So I will, just stay where I was. As I shared, Myntra, one of the largest e-commerce providers from India, they generate over 25% of their revenue through Facebook. And they use both Facebook page as well as Facebook advertisement. For a size of company like Myntra, if they're able to generate that size of revenue for their business, that means a lot. Now, let's look at another example. This is Chumbak, which is India's, they sell souvenirs like magnets in the both offline and online format. 25% of their online revenue comes through Facebook. Again, they use both Facebook advertisement as well as Facebook page. So people, go from their Facebook page to their site and transaction happen, or people directly go from Facebook advertisement to their website and transaction happen. That's how they measure their revenues. Now, this is very interesting. Kaya Skin Clinic, which is a pure offline business, they also generate over 20% of their sales through Facebook. Of course, in this case, kind of a lead gets generated or originated from Facebook, but the final transaction happens in their store or the clinics. But if Kaya Skin Clinic can generate 20% of their revenue, I think that really speaks volume about the opportunity of Facebook for real business growth. Yatra, so far I have seen that travel sites are still not woken up to the opportunity of Facebook, but now they are waking up. Yatra, I think, using their Facebook page generates around 1.5 million revenue per month. And I think this is largely through Facebook page. They are still not probably using advertisement like they would be using enormously in Google AdWords to generate revenues. But I think now Make My Trip is quite active, and we will see many bigger case studies from India in travel space. Then there was an event which happened in Mumbai called Arist of Invasion. It was like a musical festival. They had 30 times ROI on their Facebook ads, and they generated 10,000 ticket sales for the event which happened. So they use Facebook ads to drive people to attend that. So Facebook drove more tickets than television, radio, and outdoor, which is again a great example. Now let's look into some examples of applications. We did our workshop in Singapore almost 2 years back, and we were looking at an example. This is an example of Wildlife Reserve Singapore, which manages, like River Safari, which is about to come, but Night Safari, Singapore Zoo, and Zurong Bird Park. Earlier, there was a concept of landing page for non-fans. If you are not a fan, you go to their page, you will see this image. When you click on like, they say that this image will change, and you will get a code, which when you share and the ticket counter of Night Safari, you will get 20% off. So when you click on like, that means you become a fan. This image changes to this, which says you speak out, get wild at Night Safari, and you get 20% off your Night Safari tickets. So, very interesting way to connect offline with online. It will be measurable and a great incentive for people who come to their page to become fans. And imagine if you are standing in a queue, someone in your front says that get wild at Night Safari, and he gets discount. This is another example of Titan. They were running this discount called earlier 40% off to everyone they were giving. And they launched this campaign called Fantastic Offer, which is a special exclusive offer for fans on Facebook, where they give additional 15% discount. And what you have to do is you have to click on generate code, and what it asks for is your mobile number, and you get the voucher as an SMS. So when you click on that, you get that voucher as an SMS, which you can redeem at the Titan store or Titan showroom. They were expecting X redemptions of this, and they got 50 times what they were expecting. So again, nothing too technical, but just a small integration of voucher going as an SMS from Facebook and becoming a reason for them to measure the effectiveness of their page in generating conversions in the retail showrooms. This was another interesting example, not necessarily about pure customer acquisition, but technically very interesting. Titan Run has a watch called HTSE, and this is a watch which works on light. And to give people experience that this watch works on light, they created this application which also works on light. So now you on my screen are able to see this watch, but when you go to Titan's page and you see this application, you will not see this watch, it will be dark. And it will ask you, do you have a webcam? If you have a webcam, it will enable that, and it will ask you to point a torchlight or any light source in front of your webcam to the camera. And then it starts appearing. And then you are able to create a picture that you can share with your friends on Facebook. So that's very interesting example of Titan kind of stimulating the behavior that a watch works on light, so that you have a higher recall, and when you are on the store, it will remind that Titan has a watch which works on a light, and you definitely want to try out. So that's what I was referring to, how you can use Facebook to drive influence for people towards your product or service. This application was nominated for Mashable's awards. So, interesting leverage of technology for creating a presence, the brand visibility for a new concept. Then there are multiple ways you can integrate widgets, Facebook widgets on your website. If you are a publisher, you generate a lot of traffic, or you may be an e-commerce company, you generate a lot of traffic, and you want higher conversion rates. So this is another company called Just Uno, which gives you these widgets. And this widget can be, typically at the end of your shopping cart checkout process. And what it enables is, when people are at that stage, it tells them that if they like or do Google +1 or tweet this offer, they will get additional 5% off. Or even if they join their mailing list. So typically what happens, there is a very high shopping cart abandonment rate. And one of the reasons is, especially now, people are always thinking that, oh, will there be a better offer than this? So people, check, without completing their transaction, move out from the final page. But if you have a widget like this, and you can create this, something like this on your own, it will significantly improve your conversion, shopping cart conversion or fulfillment rate. More important, it will drive a lot of virality from the existing customers who are about to complete their order. So similarly, Facebook has a number of widgets, including a widget where people, when they are on your Facebook page, they can send a mail from your page. There is a widget called Send Widget. So if you go to Facebook developer section, you will see a number of Facebook widgets which can help you significantly leverage your existing traffic and help you improve your conversions. Now, there's another thing which Facebook had started a few months back called Facebook Offers. So if you have a Facebook page and you can run a post like this, where when people click on this, they will see something like this. And since I'm the admin, I got this interface. Otherwise, instead of recent offer, you will see get offer. When they click on get offer, they will get a mail. So if you are running a page, you can run a special offer, and when your friends or anyone else click on get offer, they will get a mail with a link or a discount code. So that's another way where you want to convert your fans or visitors of the page to be able to finally convert to real customers, or maybe generating leads. So Facebook Offers is one of those opportunities. And then there's the concept of Open Graph application. So far, I have said the application, there were other social applications, but Open Graph applications can be really, really powerful. So before I tell you how it works, I'll share with you an example. For example, you run a video site. You share, for example, if you are a YouTube, and people come to your site where they are watching a video, and you want them to be able to leverage their Facebook network to see that they watch that video on your site. So if they give you authorization to your Open Graph application, which will be on your site, for example, if a visitor comes and when they are watching this video, you ask them for authorizing to this application. If they authorize that, then whatever action they are taking on your website, if it's a video site, it could be watching video. If it is a publisher, you could be reading an article. If you are in book sites, it could be reading a book. So it could be any action they take, and a story will get added to their Facebook profile. That means their network will get to know that they took some action on your website. So to give you an example of Daily Motion, which is into videos, so they watch, publish, and share videos. When you go to their website, this is a kind of an open application, open graph application permission you will get. Once you give them that permission, then when you are on their site, when you are watching a video, your friends will get to see that. And it had worked enormously well for Dailymotion. In 2 months, they had 9 million people added this application to their timeline. 6 million Facebook visitors came to their website every day. 2 million stories published back on Facebook every day. That means 2 million entries with a link to their Facebook page got added. It's like, you are watching this video on your Facebook timeline. Your friends will get to see that you watch this video on Dailymotion, and there will be a link to this video. So similarly, you can use it for games as well. Your visitors played a game. So that's a very, very interesting and powerful integration or leverage of technology to drive more engagement, to drive more visitors, and even to drive sales. Right? So those are a few interesting examples I wanted to share from various point of views, various contexts in terms of pages to advertisement to application, including technical open graph applications. Now, I want to share with you what makes you to be successful in leveraging Facebook advertising. Say you don't need to run a page to be able to derive leads or sales for your organization or even brand. When you run an ad, it can directly drive people to any other external website or a landing page or even a blog. So you can run Facebook ads, one for the Facebook page or for an outside of Facebook page. Now, how Facebook ads work is like as I shared. When a user is on Facebook, they see an ad, and when they click on an ad, it can take them to a page within Facebook. It could be a Facebook page, Facebook event, Facebook application, Facebook, other properties within Facebook, or it can take them to your website, and typically that's used for lead generation. Now, Facebook ads are extremely, extremely powerful. Now, let me share with you some real part of Facebook ad. Now, when you go to facebook.com/advertising, that's where you will also see the examples I shared like Chomberg, Yatra, Paya Skin Clinic. But right now I want to show you the power of Facebook ads. When you click on create an ad, I hope you can see my screen directly on Facebook. So what you can do is you can run an ad for an external site. For example, if I share digitalvidya.com. Now, once I give the URL, it asks me to create an ad. So that has a title. So it could be like Facebook marketing course. I give a description and then I put an image. Now, the most interesting part of this is the targeting. I can choose people based on location. It could be India. Within India, I can choose cities. I can choose age brackets. That is also possible. I can choose people based on their interest. I can put chief executive officer as a keyword. That also is possible. You can choose based on categories as well. You can choose people based on family status as well. Married with 1 children. You can also even target people who are connected to a page, and even more, you can target people who work in an organization from a particular college or education background. Now, the most interesting part is while you are doing all this targeting, you will see this number changing, and that tells you the estimated number of people in that segmentation. So here you want to find out how many people are on Facebook on 40 plus age in India. Let me do that real time with you, and which could be anyone on 40 plus in India. And that is close to 7 million people. A lot of people think that Facebook is all about youth, youngsters. There are not enough senior people. You want to find out how many people are on Facebook in India overall. You say 13, which is the minimum to the maximum, no max, so that's 16 million. We are the third largest country on Facebook. Brazil is second. We are about to cross Brazil. So 60 million people are on Facebook, and more important, the amount of time they're spending. That's what makes Facebook so powerful. And when you run Facebook ads, even any user who is on Facebook, Facebook knows all these details, you can target them. And this targeting is what makes Facebook advertising so powerful, right? So you can do your media planning and buying real time, and you can do the targeting, which is a crux of this, right? So now let me share with you some other interesting parts of all the real part on leveraging Facebook ads. Assuming you are an advertiser A and there is another advertiser called advertiser B. Now when you run an ad on Facebook, you can choose two models. First model is called cost per click. That is, you only pay to Facebook when someone clicks on your ad. And the other model is called cost per 1,000 impressions. It's CPM. That means whether someone has clicked or not, every 1,000 impressions you will be charged by Facebook. Assuming you have chosen CPC model because that's more performance oriented, and you are an advertiser A, you got 100 impressions of your ad and 2 people clicked on the ad and you were willing to pay 10 rupees per click. There is another advertiser or advertiser B who also got 100 impressions of their ad. There were 5 clicks of that ad and they were willing to pay 5 rupees per click. If I ask you between these two advertisers, who is more effective or who is likely to get more exposure of their ads at a lesser price, what would be your answer? You know, you can use the chat panel or the questions panel to respond. So once again, you know, cost per click is a bidding mechanism. Depending upon the number of people targeting the same audience, there are various parameters on which Facebook decides whose ad will be shown and what price you will be charged as cost per click. So if you are an advertiser A and there's another advertiser B, and these are the statistics of the first 100 impressions of your ad, who do you think is more effective? So advertiser B is much more effective. And the reason being, they have higher yield for Facebook as well as their ad is more relevant because they had higher clicks for the same impressions. So from advertiser B, Facebook made 25 rupees. So 5 clicks at 5 rupees. From you, Facebook made 20 rupees. Even though you were willing to pay double of advertiser B, Facebook paid more money from advertiser B. And also if you see, for the same impressions, if the other advertiser has got more clicks, that means their ad is likely to be more relevant for the same audience. And the difference between two is the click-through rate. And click-through rate is essentially, you know, the number of clicks divided by impressions as a percentage. So you got 2% click-through rate, the advertiser B got 5% click-through rate. And click-through rate is the key to winning on Facebook advertising. And your job is to improve click-through rate. Because higher click-through rate means lower cost per click and more impressions of your ad. And can you guess what is a good benchmark of a click-through rate? Like if you are able to get that percentage of click-through rate, you are doing a good job. So just think for a moment, you know, what could be a good click-through rate, and I will share that with you. It's 0.1%. That means out of 1,000 impressions of your ad, if you got 1 click, you're doing a good job. You can see exceptional cases as well, but typically, if you are running a commercial business, you know, you will get even lower click-through rate. Now, how to improve click-through rate, right? So, one of the key ways to improve click-through rate, if you see, is when people see an ad, you know, they see title, description, and image. What do you, out of these 3 elements, what do you think determines the click-through rate most? Is it the title or the description or the image? And if you notice your own experience, it's actually the image. Because we first see an ad, then we decide to read. So one of the key ways to improve your click-through rate is to have bright, better images, and that too you should be constantly changing, because after a period of time the same ad will stop performing. I can see this is question being asked by some of you. So one of the major ways to improve your click-through rate is to improve on your image for that. Right now, I will share another very, very interesting element. When people click on your ad, there are two options. You can take them to your normal website, or you can create a specifically designed landing page. Now, what happens is when people come to your site through an ad, they will spend some time, they will browse through multiple pages. Even if they find it interesting, they will say, okay, I will come back again. And given they have a very little recall, they would not even realize they have visited your site, and they will forget. So you want to take advantage of their opportunity lies. So instead of taking them to your normal website where they may spend time and go back, you take them to a specifically designed landing page where your idea is you want to get their details so that even if they don't remember, you can go back to them. So to share example, for example, we are running this ad on Facebook for our advanced Facebook marketing course. This is the title, this is an image, and this is a description. When people click on this ad, rather than taking them to our normal website, in this case, this is on our other brand called 42 Inception, we don't take them to our main site, we take them to a specifically designed landing page. And this is like one of the versions of the landing page. When they come here, they are being asked to, begin with us this engagement by filling this form, and they will get a free Facebook marketing guide. The moment we changed from the website to this, we saw significant times increase in the conversion rates. So if your objective is to generate leads, for example, you should look at driving people from Facebook advertising to a specifically designed landing page. And what you need to take care on a landing page is you don't give them any options. Here, the only option they have is either fill this form and click this, or they close this page. There is an email and phone number as well, but that's fine. They would reach out to us. So typically, you will give them two options: either close the page or fill a form. And if you do that, you will see a significant times increase in conversion. I'm not saying it will be a percentage increase, right? So that's one of the ways you should exploit to impact the ROI of your advertising, right? So to remind you again, Facebook has over 60 million users in India. More important, the amount of time they are spending is huge, and you can build relationship with them. And as I shared earlier, the opportunity of social media and Facebook is leverage your existing relationships. So using your Facebook page, through even Facebook applications, you can reach out to more people, including leveraging when they are on your website. Or you can run through, as I shared about.
Hello, Pradeep. Your voice, Pradeep, I just wanted to interrupt you. Your voice is going again and again, so it's better if you please connect in using the phone. That would be better because the voice is going off in between. Can you please connect using the phone?
Just a minute. Okay, can you, I hope I am audible again. Sorry guys again for the issue related to
Yeah,
that.
you're audible, but please, I would suggest you
Can
to
you confirm? Yeah.
connect using the phone because this would go off again because your network is creating problems. So, if
Yeah,
you connect using a phone, your voice would not break. It's going off again. Hello?
I can be another.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we could not
Can you
hear
hear
you.
me?
No, it went off again for a while. I could not hear you. Hello?
Guys, sorry, I'll just make a call. Otherwise, can you hear me?
Clear to
Hello?
me that your network is creating problems. So, yeah, it's better if you connect using the phone.
Okay, I need to check the phone number on my email, so I'll just do that because I'll have to call. Otherwise, is it audible now?
No,
Can
it's
I
not
just try
clear.
this
It's
once?
breaking. No, it's breaking. I would not suggest you to continue with this connection.
Okay. Okay. So just tell them that few minutes I'll be on the call.
Yeah, sure.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Hello? Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. You can continue. You can continue with the session. We can hear you very well. Are you there? Your sound is not coming.
Hello, guys. Can you hear me here now?
We can hear you.
Can you hear? Yeah, Moini, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, got it. So, as I shared with you, you can now take down this presentation from this URL. If you are interested in going deeper across social media, various elements of social media in terms of leveraging Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, for lead generation to branding to customer acquisition, you can be part of any of our upcoming, workshops across India. As a part of this webinar, we'll be glad to offer you special 15% discount. You can use this voucher code when you register online, either on our website digitalvidya.com or on 42 Inception for the advanced Facebook marketing course. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have right now. I can already see some questions. Otherwise, feel free to reach out to me on social media, especially on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. At all places, I have the same handle. So twitter.com/Pradeep Chopra, facebook.com/Pradeep Chopra, linkedin.com/IamPradeep Chopra. Right. So now I'll be taking all the questions. I think we got a little delay because of the trouble related to the network. Let me just check on the questions which are already being asked. So how can I use Facebook for CPM marketing? Raghavan, unlike Google, which has a CPA model, Facebook doesn't offer a cost per acquisition. So for others who may not understand what is CPA, CPA stands for cost per acquisition. So far, Facebook does not give you a model where you run an ad on CPA model. But what you can do is you can completely measure and track your performance. So you can use Facebook offers as well. So you would know typically, what's your cost per acquisition. But Facebook does not give you an option in terms of you bid in a CPA. But if you are using a landing page, if you are using Google Analytics, if you are an online business, or if the lead generation happens online, everything is in your control, and we do that, quite effectively. How do I increase and measure engagement on Facebook? So, as I shared earlier, engagement is the key, especially when it comes to Facebook page, because if you are not engaging your fans, then because of the Facebook EdgeRank algorithm, whether you have the fans or not, there is not much difference. So your job is to increase engagement, right? Now the point is how to increase engagement. Say the whole point is when you are running a Facebook page, you want your fans to constantly engage, right? That will be a function of how you are producing content. Is this content which is all promotional, or is this content which is relevant for them? So to give you some examples, Dell run a community called Social Media for Small Business powered by Dell. So instead of creating a page for Dell, they thought if we can help our potential customers grow using social media, and they internally as Dell have a lot of case studies. As they grow, they would consider Dell as a choice of their product or services which Dell has to offer. So taking that route where you are not creating a pure branded page or having branded conversations, can you think about content which is relevant to them? That will be a key determinant of how much engagement you are able to drive. And of course, using Facebook applications is another way. Facebook applications can really help you drive engagement. Right? So that's one part. I will also wait for more questions. It could be about Facebook ads, about Facebook even apps, though I'm not a technical person, but as I shared, open graph applications can be really powerful. So, okay, so how to improve CTR? As I shared earlier, click-through rate is the key to measure your success about Facebook advertising. And click-through rate is largely determined by the ad creative, which is the image of an ad. Because unlike Google, where you see an ad, when you search for an information on Facebook, an ad is being pushed. So you want, your people to first see an ad and then they get interested. Now people typically see an image, right? There are 8 ads on the right hand side, and you give a glance and you will see an image. If it's interesting, then you will read and then you will make a call whether you want to click. So having an interesting, bright image is the key. Of course, targeting is another element, because if you are doing, without any targeting, and if your product is very much targeted, your ad will get exposed to a lot of people for whom it is not at all relevant. And what that will do is it will reduce your click-through rate, which means you will pay higher price and you will get low exposure of your ads. Right? So I hope that helps. Can Facebook Lives be increased without paid campaign? Yeah, Harshdeep. So honestly, most of the brands which have grown large have used Facebook ads, and Facebook ads are still quite cost effective. However, you can still expect some organic growth. One part of that would be through a function of having very, very interesting content. Of course, you will need to have initial critical mass, which you can either get it through either Facebook ads, or you look into which other channels where you have access to your potential fans. You can send an emailer campaign, you can integrate Facebook page widget on your website, or anywhere you are reaching out to your fans. It could be your signature, it could be using LinkedIn, Twitter, other social media channels, could be at the end of the presentation. So you need to look into where all you are reaching out to potential fans and use that as an opportunity to acquire fans. But to be honest, if I look at the numbers across India and even I think globally, there are very few exceptions where some very, very interesting applications created virality to have significant fan acquisition without advertising. But otherwise, most of the growth has happened through advertising. Right? I hope, Harshdeep, you got an idea. In your view, what are the areas where ITS companies use FB pages to engage connections? Yeah, so most of the IT companies have participated in our workshop. From Wipro to TCS to Infosys to otherwise Cognizant to GE. And I have seen many of them are currently using Facebook for large. One part of that is employee engagement, which is existing employees or attracting talent for potential employees. Then companies like HCL, even Cognizant, use their page to announce their interesting developments. It could be winning a new customer, getting a new project, opening a new office, launching a new product or service. So I think those are two areas where I have seen, of course, you can run a Facebook ad as well to do, lead generation, even if you're an ITS companies, because you will see your customers, which is, including CIOs, are spending time on Facebook in professional context. Otherwise, for people who are interested in social media for B2B, I would advise you to go to a site called socialmediab2b.com. Here 2 is numeric. Social media B, then 2 numeric B.com. It has a number of case studies of B2B companies using social media, including Facebook. Right? So I hope, Tarun, you got some idea about how to approach Facebook from that ITS or B2B angle. Can you please name some Facebook applications which are used often for lead generation? Okay. So Madhvi, or for others, one is you can build your own applications, right? I shared some of those examples of pure custom developed applications. Second is you can use third-party application companies, which will give you, some interesting ready-made applications. So I'll give you some names of third-party Facebook application providers. One is called Involver. There is another called Social Apps HQ. It's an Indian company. Social, then APPS, then HQ. Then there is a North Social. There is a Involver, Wildfire. So these are 4 companies that I'm aware about, which gives you ready-made applications, and they significantly reduce your cost because they would have already built an application which is being used by a number of clients. So I think that's a way you can look into it. What do you suggest? Has a ROI getting people to fan page or to the website? Nirav, so it depends upon the objective. If your objective is to engage people, over a longer period, you want to build a community of your brand ambassadors, Facebook page is a great idea. If your ROI is measured in terms of more transactional or lead generation in nature, then you would want to use probably, not just a website, but even a landing page to drive people directly from your Facebook ads. And you can do that as plug and play. You don't even need a Facebook page. I see multiple ads from one advertiser. Yeah, Gopi, we have seen that as well. Facebook says that it's possible. Really not sure in terms of what are the guidelines. Like Google has very strong guidelines, but typically I think from the same account, depending upon overall spend, Facebook can show multiple ads from the same advertiser, but that's one of the gray areas. But we had checked with Facebook and they said that it's possible and there is no fixed way to do that. Any options on Facebook for free advertising? Yeah, Jahangir, as I shared, one is a Facebook page can be free. Second is Facebook events can be free. So a lot of, I've seen organizations uses, if you are in a business where you're doing an event, you can use Facebook event. Even Facebook group can be very powerful. Facebook group can be completely private. You can add people, on the group, and there are a lot of ways you can have much more visibility in terms of everyone getting a notification when a post is done. So we have seen number of brands using Facebook group to be able to reach out to potential customers, and that's without pay, right? I have 4,000, yeah, and the next question reminds me of that. Your own profile can be really useful. Like I have, I think almost 3,700 friends on Facebook, and many of them are my professional connections, and I use my Facebook profile to have people get to know about our business. So your own profile can be very, very powerful if you use it well. Don't, of course, over promote your products and services using your profile and even your page as well. As we run a company in which friends are added as friends, was must I have, okay. Yeah, so actually one of the things, if you want to drive them to become your a page fan, you can do a post on your wall as your individual, invite them to your page. That's one thing you can do. If you are the admin of the page, there's an option to invite friends. They will get that as a notification, right? Is promoting offer via Facebook updates normal Facebook update or update image legal? Is promoting offer via Facebook updates normal Facebook update or update image legal? So I'm really not sure, Neera, what's your question, but if you're asking about Facebook offer, about which the example I gave, Facebook offer is a paid mechanism. So it's like you run a page, you do a post, instead of normal post, you can do a Facebook offer post. And depending upon the budget you will choose, the offer will go to, the number of people based on the budget. So that's how it works. But otherwise, if your question is about what images you use, so you would want to pay attention to the images you use. It's like you are a publisher and you use an image on your website. So you would want to use an image which you have the copyright for, because that will be, especially if you are a large brand, you don't run any risk. At any point of time, if you are in any doubt, you are using some other image, the best way is to give a link as a courtesy to tell that this is the source of the image, right? So I think that helps. I'm sure there are many more questions, but for those, I would still be here if you want. But for those of you who had planned 1 hour for this webinar, I hope this was useful, and I really truly believe that you would be able to take certain actions from these insights and case studies that I shared for your organization. If you need any support, you can reach out to me. And if you really want to go deeper into any of the aspects of social media, especially Facebook, consider to be part of any of our upcoming trainings. Would be happy to interact with you here, right? But otherwise, yeah, I'm more than happy to take more questions here. Okay, what are major differences between Google AdWords and Facebook, LinkedIn, which is more beneficial for IT domain? Okay, so if you want to compare between LinkedIn advertising, Facebook ads, and Google AdWords, so let me share first the difference between Google AdWords and Facebook advertising. Google AdWords has an advantage over Facebook in terms of when you show an ad on search engine like Google, when people search for a keyword, that means they had an intention to know more about that information. So that way, that's likely to have a higher click-through rate and likely to have a higher conversion. However, Facebook has this advantage, which is the targeting, as I shared. You can target people based on age, gender, location, company, college, designation, all of that. That makes Facebook advertising powerful. So I wouldn't say one is better than another. These are the two aspects which makes one better over other. And I have seen a number of people, including our own experience, that both of them works. So that's the difference between Google AdWords and Facebook ads. Now, when it comes to LinkedIn advertising, yeah, one is it's definitely in a pure professional context. So if you want to target people like, CXO of a telecom company in North America, LinkedIn allows you to do that. But at the same time, LinkedIn advertising is very expensive. Like the minimum cost per click for LinkedIn ads is $2. But if your deal size can be high, especially if you are a B2B like IT company, even if you are able to generate, a small percentage of conversions from your LinkedIn ads, it can still have high ROI. So the advantage of LinkedIn is you are able to reach out to people based on, all targeting as in Facebook. But here, one in the context is pure professional. You are likely to get more senior people to be able to target compared to Facebook. And especially for IT, it makes more sense. But if your deal size is low, then LinkedIn advertising can be very, very expensive. Right? I hope that creates some clarity about you choosing between these three ads options. Right? Got it. So great, guys. I think it was useful. Once again, I apologize for all the inconvenience which happens because of the net connection. That was, really not expected. Once again, I want to thank you. I hope you had a good time. I had a great time as well. Thank you very much. Over to Techie to complete this.
Thanks for the insightful presentation, Mr. Pradeep. It was really a great session. I'm really thankful to you for conducting this webinar. I would also like to thank all our participants for their support in making this webinar a success. The recording of the session would be available on techgeek.com by evening. Thank you all. Have a great evening.
Thank you. Bye-bye.